Gotta be, guys. All right, I think it's going. What's up, you guys? Matt Chablonsky here with The Point of Change. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. If you've never been here on a Tuesday morning before, Tuesday mornings I go live without my top denture to show support for those of us who are missing teeth due to our drug addictions, to raise awareness for the damage that drugs cause to your teeth, and to fight the stigma that people who are missing teeth are dumb or stupid or ugly. We are none of those things, and if we are, it's not just because we're missing teeth. All right? Get off my back. Love you guys. Good morning. Let's see. You'll be great at the Improv, says Windy Cindy Bo Bindi. Thank you, Windy Cindy. I'm excited to get over there. I've actually gone to see comedians at the Improv before, so being on that stage is going to be kind of cool to be up on the Improv stage, right? I mean, it's an open mic. Anybody can do these things. This isn't like some people, well, if you're not like familiar with doing speaking and comedy and stuff like that, you might not know that just doing an open mic doesn't count as like playing that room. It's not like you went there and had your own show or anything like that. It's just an open mic. Anybody can sign up for that. It's just practice. Sometimes it's people just seeing if they have the knack for it, which is kind of my case right now. Just seeing if I have it in me to get up on those actual comedy club stages and tell jokes in front of people. It's also for like comedians who are just trying out new material. Oh. And every once in a while, you'll get a comedian who's in the area who will just swing into an open mic and just surprise everybody and blow the house away with some awesome stuff, you know. My sets at the open mics have been doing really good. I have been taking like, I can't say I've been like actually writing down the notes, but like I get good advice and good notes out of every single one I do. I learn a little bit more. I have a joke that I've been doing for quite a while that I've tried it 2 or 3 different ways and it hasn't landed the way I want it to, but I finally got it to a way that it starts getting laughter in the beginning, which is a good, you know, that build up laughter when you first introduce the idea that you're about to joke about. There's like a light chuckle that like builds up towards it. So I got that part down now, but the punchline still wasn't landing the way I wanted it to. So I reworked the joke. So I'm going to try that out again tomorrow night. I'm hoping that this way the joke is going to go great. And if it does go great, then maybe I'll post a reel. I'm not totally sure about posting any reels out of any more of the open mics I'm going to be doing for the rest of the month because I have this comedy gig on the 20th. And right now I'm going to be practicing some of the jokes that I'm going to be doing on the 20th. So I don't want everyone that comes to the comedy show on the 20th to have already seen all the jokes, you know? So there's a delicate balance there of like, this is a good joke. I want to post it on social media because it's good to have that attention when you're trying to start out as a comedian. But then there's also the other hand of it, like, do you want to post that because do you want to keep that in your tool belt for when you're actually doing a comedy event? You can use that joke then and nobody's heard it, you know? Brian O'Brien, good morning, brother. Good to see you. Hey, thanks for getting some tags on the board. I appreciate it. I've seen some other tags going in. Thank you, guys. I mean, there was no glare on reels. Sorry. Oh, I got you. The TV in the background. Thank you, Windy Cindy. I appreciate it. Yeah, on your guys' end, the TV looks great in the background. Over on YouTube, we got a little glare going on, but that's okay. My plant needs sunlight, so I'm not closing the window. Oh, how's everybody's weekend? How are you getting through the week? What's going on in your world? This weekend, Caitlin and I went over to the edge of Wisconsin to visit my brother Chris. We had like an awesome time over there. They live in like if you know what the Toothless zone is, the Toothless zone is an area of southwestern Wisconsin, rather. And it goes down into some of the states below us as well. But it's an area where supposedly the glacier did not go through there. So you get a lot more like cliff faces and bluffs and hills and valleys, and the roads are twisty and windy. It's very much like Colorado, Brian. Very similar to driving around out there in the foothills. Not exactly, you know, they don't have mountains here. In fact, the one mountain we have in Wisconsin, you would laugh. You would laugh so hard if you seen the mountain in Wisconsin. Rib Mountain. It's great. Well, I can't say it's the only mountain. You go up north, there's Christie Mountain, which again, you would laugh. You would hysterically laugh at all of our mountains. But we do have some. We do have some. But over in the southwestern part of Wisconsin, you get like these big cliff bluffs and like exposed rock faces when you're coming around corners on roads and stuff. So it's a little different than most of the state of Wisconsin when you get down in that area, like Maiden Rock, down to Prairie du Chien, that area. Beautiful, beautiful country. I highly suggest if you're coming to Wisconsin, you have to visit that area. But we spent the weekend down there hanging out with family, and it was awesome because my family is very redneck, and spending time with them is good for my roots. Okay. It is good to get out of this downtown city where I live and go back home and frickin' be out in the country on gravel roads, riding four-wheelers with dogs just running free, free range doggies. You got cornfields all around you, the creek that runs not far from his place. Like, it's just a great place to be, to like recenter, reconnect with God and my family. And we get to stay in his camper, which is awesome as well. Let's see. Timms Hill is the highest point in Wisconsin. Yes, Timms Hill is the highest point, but it's not necessarily a mountain, is it? It's just a higher elevation in that area. Brian says, I'd love to see it. Come on out, Brian. You got to come see it. You got to be here. Wisecracker. Good morning. Come on in over on the tube. Good to see you. Let's see. Windy Cindy Bobindi. I have a long time joke / skit I've never heard anywhere. I'd like to share it, but I need someone to record me doing it for you to learn. I have one gift certificate for this joke. If I can remember the next time I see my daughter, I'll record for you, and you can decide whether you want to put it into an act or not. It's always been a winner. You're welcome to send it to me, Windy Cindy, but I'm not promising anything because it's probably Windy Cindy Bobindi style, and I highly doubt it's going to mash with Maddie Jablonski style. But I'm always open to listen to jokes. So if you want to record yourself saying it, or if you want to send it to me in a message, I would love to read it and check it out. Might be worth a chuckle, But I can't promise as far as it going into a bit or anything. But thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, there are some higher points in Wisconsin, like Timms Hill, as my mom said there. Christie Mountain over by Bruce. That's another out in the Blue Hills. That's a higher point. Still beautiful area, but not quite the mountain of Rib Mountain or Colorado. Holy crap, man. Caitlin and I spent a week in Colorado sleeping out in the mountains. We got a campsite out in the middle of nowhere, and it was just absolutely wonderful. Right on the picnic table was all the warnings about the bears. Like right there was like, make sure you have your bear spray. Do not leave food out. You are in bear country. They will literally rip your face off. It's good stuff. That makes you, like, when you see warning signs like that, you know that you're out doing cool stuff, It's like those little affirmations, because a campsite is a campsite sometimes. And when you're in a long camping trip, especially, they all kind of start looking the same. Like, you go to this campsite in this state, and then you go to this campsite in this state, and it's just a campsite. It's still the fire ring and the picnic table and your tent area and some trees for you to string some stuff up on, and it's the same thing. So to have those warning signs that are like, warning, you are in grizzly bear territory, it's like, oh, this is a different type of campsite. Had 2 bear cubs in the yard yesterday. Right on. That's what I mean. Is that right on? I don't know. Sup, Maddie? My mom passed away on May the 4th. Also, tomorrow I'm getting a memorial tattoo. Odie, her favorite cartoon character in a sheep costume. Her favorite animal. Oh, wow. That's a really cool tribute. Way to tribute your mom, man. I'm sorry that she passed away. Sorry for what you're going through right now. I know that that's got to be rough. I still have my mama, thank God. But I did lose my father, so I can relate to the pain of losing a parent. And just hold strong, brother. Hold strong. Know that she's with you, and carry her spirit and show her some cool ass stuff. That's the best you can do, is just know that they're with you. So you got to show them cool stuff, and they can see you all the time. So don't be doing shady shit, because all that stuff that you never wanted your mom to see you doing. You can't just lock a door and get away from mom anymore, right? She's right there with you. So just live the best damn life you can. Let's see. Brian says, nothing compares as far as I'm concerned. Oh, the mountains? Oh my goodness, man. I love the Rockies, says Windy Cindy. For sure. Dude, that is a very soul healing place to be. Like, and it's something you just have to see. If you've never seen a mountain before, like the Rocky Mountains or probably the Appalachians and things like that as well, but get to an actual mountain range and go just look up at a mountain, because it's like you keep looking up and you think you're going to see the sky at some point, but there's just still more ground. And I don't know how to describe it any better than that. That when you look up as far as you want, you could look all the way up here and be like, there should be sky where I'm looking. No, it's still just trees and shit. It is still the ground way up there. And it's just makes you realize how small you are, gives you an idea of a small portion of an idea of how big our planet is, you know, and how vast the universe is, and like all of this shit. It's just a mind-blowing experience to go to the mountains and climb a little one. I mean, if you want to climb a big mountain, go climb a big mountain, but I would definitely recommend at least climbing a little mountain. Caitlin and I went and climbed a little mountain, and it was freaking cool, man. Because, like, yeah, it's a little mountain, whatever. It's just an uphill trail that, like, it's really rugged and rocky, and you got to, you know, step up on stuff and do this whole thing, you know, and there's a tiny little path that, like, there's a cliff face, like, right there, you know what I mean? Or not a cliff face necessarily, but a long freaking steep hill right next to you that you could fall down and really get hurt, and you got to stay on this little path and all this stuff. So I mean, it is dangerous, but nothing like rappelling across freaking chasms and like setting up ladders and like free climbing or anything like that. But nevertheless, it's still a mountain. So go climb a tiny mountain, and then you can say, I climbed a mountain. Let's see, Stephanie. I lived in Colorado for 3 years. I absolutely loved it. Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful, dude. It's a place you gotta see. It's a place you gotta see. So much nature, so much untouched nature too, you know. My Washington in New Hampshire is amazing. Google it. Washington in New Hampshire. I can't Google it right now because my phone is on Facebook and my computer's on YouTube, so we can't have any. Oh wait, could I? Can I pull up another thing over here and it'll still go, right? You guys can still, if you guys on YouTube, I hope you guys can still see me. All right, so Googling Washington in New Hampshire, or is it my Washington in New Hampshire? Whatever. I'm going to type Washington in New Hampshire. Washington in New. Oh, everything else comes up. New York. Wait, let's see what other things have a New York news, newspaper, News Today, New Zealand, Newcastle, New Jersey, New Hampshire, Washington in New Hampshire. Here we go. New Hampshire features two very different places named Washington, a quiet historic town and a famous towering mountain. All right, let me get to the images here. Mount Washington. Oh, okay. Mount Washington in New Hampshire. All right, let me change it then. Mount. Now I see why there was a period after my. All right, now I see. I got you. I'm tracking with you. Mount Washington. Oh, wow. Heck yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a snow-capped mountain even. We don't have no snow caps here in Wisconsin. The only reason Rib Mountain has snow on it is because it's a ski hill. Other than that, there ain't no snow. And in the winter it gets snow on it. That's cool. Mount Washington. Beautiful. Heck yeah, dude. I love the mountains. I got to see the ocean next. That's on my bucket list for sure. And I think Caitlin and I want to prioritize getting our butts out to Washington State. And from there, I'm definitely going to see the ocean. But I think the way we want to do it is we want to go down to Texas and pick back up on the Route 66 journey that we started a few years ago. We stopped. We were so close to the halfway point, you guys. I did not realize how close we were to the halfway point on the Route 66 trip. We drove from Chicago down to Texas following the Route 66 path. And when we got there, we went north from there up to Colorado and went to the place where my dad's ashes were spread, stuff like that. My mustache is tickling me. But like 2 years later, I seen a Route 66 documentary on YouTube, and I was like, oh, this would be kind of cool to watch. Maybe check out some of the stuff, the way it used to look and all that, because I was very disappointed on our Route 66 road trip, because here I was not aware that Route 66 was no longer a thing. I thought it was still a road. I thought it still had some of those diners and things like that. I figured they weren't as popular anymore, but I figured it still had the old neon signs and the drive-up diners and all that stuff. No, there is nothing like that on Route 66 anymore. Route 66 was decommissioned in 1988. It is not a road. When you drive Route 66, you don't actually drive the original road, except for in some areas you come across sections that are the original road of Route 66. But for the most part, you follow roads that somewhat follow the old path of Route 66. A lot of times you're on like US Highway 44, and it'll say historic 66 underneath it, because the part of 66 that actually runs through that area is no longer there. So you're actually driving on a different road that's somewhat close to where it used to go through, so there's none of the drive-up diners, the neon signs that you see on all the pictures, none of that exists anymore. You can see some rusted up ruins of the old buildings, and there'll be like a sign there that shows a picture of the light up beautiful drive-in freaking diner that used to be there, and it'll tell you what year it was taken down and stuff, and all that's left is a rusted sign on a pole. And it's like, it was almost depressing. In a lot of ways, it was almost depressing for both of us a little bit, because neither of us really realized all this till we started planning the trip. But anyway, so this time we're going to go down to that spot where we left off and finish it out to California. But yeah, months later, I was watching this documentary about Route 66, and they were kind of going through the different towns along the way and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, we stopped there. Oh, that's cool. I remember seeing that. And then they get to down in Texas on Route 66, and they show the town that we went through where we went north. And then right after that, he's like, and if you just continue a little ways down the road, you find the halfway point of Route 66. And I was like, ah, babe, we didn't go halfway. We were right there. We should have just drove. If I would have known, I would have literally drove up the road a little ways and just at least seen the halfway point sign, and then we could have went back and went north. But it's just funny to me. Those little moments that you missed, They bypassed most of Route 66. What are they hiding? Conspiracy mind. Right. Route 66 now goes to nothing. No, like the original. There are some areas when you're driving where like you're on a new road, and if you look off in the trees next to you, you can see the original Route 66 blacktop is still there with like trees growing up through it and shit, So that was kind of cool to see that. It was like, oh, look, there's like the original mother road. We actually stopped at one point and went over onto it and took some pictures down on the old Route 66, and we took a chunk of the blacktop from the original mother road. So it is still cool in its own right. But it's not what you expect if you're like me, if you're uneducated like me and don't know that it's not a thing anymore. You're not, half of the time you're on these different roads. We actually had to download a different GPS. You can download the Route 66 app, and you have to pay a monthly subscription or whatever, but we paid it so we could have it for the trip. And it is its own GPS that follows the original path of Route 66 very accurately. So you can use that instead of Google Maps, because Google Maps won't send you down Route 66 because it's not a thing. You would think that that would be a mode you could that they could do that, that if you type in Route 66 on frickin' maps, that it would be like, here's your plotted course, follow this. But no, that is not how it works. So we had to have this other app, but it guides you through very well on every town that you come through. It's got attractions that you should look for, places to eat, places to sleep, all that kind of stuff comes up on it. So it was really cool. Oh yeah, so here's a stupid story, terrible story. I should add this to my comedy bit here. Hang on. I should have a whole section on Route 66 in my stand-up bit. There we go. Let me add it in. Where are we going to put it in? We're going to put it up. No, it's not over there. We're going over here somewhere. I'm just going to jot it in as a side note. Route 66, the Rabbit Ranch. Oh my goodness. So we start our Route 66 trip. We go down to Pontiac, Illinois as one of the first stops on Route 66, that like one of those tourist destinations. Like if you're going on Route 66, you got to stop in Pontiac, Illinois. They have a bunch of murals throughout the city of Pontiac, Illinois, like giant murals painted on the side of the buildings of different things along the path of Route 66. And they're really pretty. They're gorgeous, made by different artists and stuff. So it's one of those touristy things. Like you got to stop in Pontiac, Illinois and walk around the whole town and check out all these murals, So we did that. And at one of the murals, there was like this really cool double-decker. I'm thinking it was somebody else who was driving Route 66. It was a double-decker bus that had been turned into a camper. And it was super freaking like woodsy. You know what I mean? Like it was, all right, bro, catch you next time. It was like, looked like a log cabin almost that you would drive down the highway. So we're checking that thing out. And in front of it is this like podium with different places that you need to stop on Route 66, right? And it had like a map of Route 66 on it, and then along it had these little bubbles, and you know little arrows that would point over to these bubbles and told you what was at each spot and said you have to stop here, you have to stop here. And one of the things on Route 66 that it was like you have to stop and see was this Hank's Rabbit Ranch. And the picture of Hank's Rabbit Ranch was this happy little girl holding this giant bunny with like big floppy ears. And she's just happy as shit with this giant bunny. And my wife loves animals. So I'm like, oh, sweet. Put that in the back of your brain that we got to stop at this rabbit ranch whenever we see it, because Caitlin loves bunnies and she's going to see this big floppy eared bunny. She's going to freaking love it. It's going to be a really nice stop. So I don't let Caitlin see that podium. I'm like, let's get out of here. Because I don't want her to see the rabbit ranch and get all excited. And then, I want to surprise her with it. Right. So we go down the road, and it wasn't in the first day of our journey. It was like maybe day 2 or day 3 that we actually were going down the road, and I see a sign that says Hank's Rabbit Ranch right here. And I'm like, there it is, babe, the rabbit ranch. And she has no idea why I'm so excited here. That here I'm like, oh, this can be cool, So I'm like, oh, we got to go to the rabbit ranch. We got to go to the rabbit ranch. And she's like, okay, all right, we'll go. So we stop in and we go to the rabbit ranch, and I'm all pumped that this is going to be so cool. And we come in, and there's like no rabbits, and like there's nobody around, and we're looking around, and it's like this really, I don't know, dark, damp old gas station pretty much on the side of the road. And we walk outside and we're looking for somebody, and we come along the side of the building, and there's all these little crosses along the side of the garage. There's a bunch of little crosses, and we're reading them, and there's a bunch of different names on these little crosses. And I'm like, oh, well, this is cute. What is this? Like some kind of Sunday school thing. And then this old man comes around the corner, and he's like, hey, howdy folks, how you doing? And I'm like, hey, how you doing, man? We were just stopped by to check out the rabbits. And he's like, oh, all of the rabbits died. These are the rabbits. I'm like, oh no. Here, like just a few months ago, all the rabbits got some crazy rabbit disease and just died. And I'm like, oh man. So my happy rabbit ranch surprise for my wife turned into one of the most depressing stops on the whole trip, where we learned from this sad old man that all of his bunny rabbits had recently died. Oh my goodness. Sometimes you think it's going to be a good time and it's just not. Uh Let's see. Fleischmann rabbits, extremely. Fleischmann rabbits? Fleischmann. Nope, no rabbits. Just dead rabbits. That's all there was. Love your tweaker skits. Appreciate it, man. New season coming soon. Matthew season 2 will start filming. I'm excited for it. I got a couple more scripts to write yet. I got 1 or 2 here on paper. And when I say 1 or 2, I mean 1. I got more ideas than just 1. I got a whole bunch of ideas, but I have 1 script actually finished. Was going to start working on this one today. Didn't get very far before it was breakfast time and then time for Toothless Tuesday, so I didn't get as much done today in the office as I would like, but I did make forward progress. So we're going to count that as a win. Progress, not perfection, right? I might not have got everything done I wanted to today, but I got something done, and that's a good thing. Better than not getting shit done, right? All right. Thank you guys for tuning in, hanging out with me for a little bit. I hope you all have a beautiful day, and I will catch you next time right here on The Point of Change. Until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay clean. Gotta end the YouTube universe there.